Good morning.
Hello, everybody. We
Hi.
we are hopefully coming to you live. Let us know if we are. And I'm just going to make sure we're in the right place. Now, one thing that we found out about 3 minutes ago is that I couldn't go into our event. So we are here live on our Facebook page without an event. So I'm hoping that everybody can find us. Make sure you just refresh your screen a couple times and it should pop up at the top of your screen if you go to Design with Joe. So hopefully it is there and you can see us. I'm just going to make sure that we are in the right place and then we can see your comments.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody. Please come on, say where you're watching from. Say if you've got your catalog, because I know some might still be in the mail. Say what's your favorite thing in the catalog. Let us know. We're going to ask you a few questions throughout the event this morning. And I will just introduce myself. I'm Joanne Rogers. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada. And I'm very happy to be able to share with you finally the inside of our mini holiday catalog from Stampin' Up! And I'll let maybe Lillian go next.
And I'm Lillian. I'm coming to you from a little north of Joanne from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. And I'm so excited about this catalog. I've had a chance to play with a little bit and it's fun. Marilyn?
I'm Marilyn Wagner. I'm from Spruce Grove as well, and I am excited about this catalog. I don't have a lot out of it, but what I do have is amazing, and you're going to enjoy it. So we're here, happy to share with you.
Exactly. Thank you, ladies. So that's going to be sort of how our morning goes. We are going to do some tag teaming. We're going to walk you through not every single page of the catalog, but some of what our favorite items are so that you can really get a good look at them. We've got some samples to share. We won't be doing any demos today, but in our Facebook Lives and our YouTube videos and on our blogs and in our newsletters, we will share all kinds of different samples over the next several months. So look forward to seeing some of those. And we want to get started. So I'm going to turn my camera down to my desktop and make sure, let us know that you can see that now. And also, again, let us know, be sure if you're just coming on now, let us know where you're watching from and let us know if you already have one of these great little catalogs in your hot little hands. And I hope you do because you can follow along with us too. So we are going to run a little bit through the catalog. We're going to try and do it as quickly as possible. I am going to try and spotlight here. There we go, so that you can see a bigger image. And let's get started. So this is our mini catalog and we can open up the page finally. So one of the things that I want to just draw your attention to is this table of contents. Now, normally we skip right over this page, right? It's something that isn't the most exciting, but really it does tell us a lot of stuff. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different items in the table of contents. And we start with Stampin' Up's, the way that they classify our type, the information and the type of crafting that we do. And we always are interested in having folks join as Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And we are excited when we have new team members. Step-by-step crafting. And I'm going to go through this. These are quick and easy options. I'm going to go through these because sometimes we just don't have a bunch of time, right? We are strapped for time. Either we are caregiving children or elderly parents or perhaps spouses, or we are working and we just can't fit in that extra crafting time. That's when these quick and easy options really do come in handy. Creativity your way. That's where many of us who have been stamping and crafting for a long time, that's where you get to do whatever you want. And there's papers and embellishments and ribbons, all kinds of things that you can play with there. Then there's rewards. So talking about what rewards that you can earn if you have a qualified show or party or order with Stampin' Up. And then the index. And we are quickly going to talk about the index at the end. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back out here. I think there we go. So we can see all of our pages. Now we are going to just talk quickly about this making a difference page on page 4 and 5. So this is a gift back a giving back that Stampin' Up does. And this paper, when you purchase it, it's $17 and it's 12 by 12. And Stampin' Up will make a $4 donation to a children's charity around the world. So wherever this paper is purchased, it will stay in that area. So think about this. And this is actually a good cross section of a lot of the different papers that you'll find in this catalog. So don't miss this. Then join. Here's a great page for joining. I love when Sarah talks to us. She's answering some questions here about the different parts of the catalog, and then step-by-step crafting. And the pictures are gorgeous. This is a brand new kit that just came out today. In fact, I don't even know the name of it. Maybe Lillian or Marilyn do.
It's called the Christmas Ornaments Kit.
Okay, thank you, Lillian. And so you can make these ornaments, and it comes with these beautiful gold hoops. So that is available as of today. So you can check that on the site. This is one, the Christmas Wishes has been out since last month, I guess, yeah, August. And this is a great kit. So again, if you want to make a bunch of cards really quickly, this is what you want to play with. It comes in a box and you have everything you need to create with. So if you're just starting out, this is the way to start. This as well is another kit that just came available today. Lillian, do you know the name of that one, or Marilyn?
It's something card box.
Okay.
Sorry, don't know. Yeah.
Okay, something card box, but it is available on the site, and it'll pop up if you go under what's new. You'll see it pop up. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about quick and easy options. So I love this. I left my samples to the end because I knew these really were quick and easy options. So when I was playing with these, and I'm on page 14 and 15 now, these are the ephemera packs. And if you have not seen these before, they were sort of introduced in the annual catalog, and they come like this. Let me show you. So I'll give you a close up here. So there are 3 different packages, and I got all 3. So the first one is tags, and I'll just give you a really quick overview. You get 2 sheets of each of these ones. And I love in these ephemera packs that there's so much gold. There's a lot of gold, and gold is really trendy right now. So you can see all the great designs here that you can use. And I've got some samples to show you as well. But they're like, you can craft all of your Christmas cards you can make using these. And then the words. So the words are a mix. They're a mix of, I'm hoping that you can see the gold on there. They're a mix of sort of bordered, colored ones so that the words pop out. Then there are some larger ones here that you can get. This is a gorgeous page. Let me just turn this over so that you can see this a little bit better. These pop out, they're laser cut, and I've got a sample with those. And then there's the last page. So there's all kinds of great things in here. So let me show you what some of them look like. Now, when you're crafting, you can choose to purchase this set of cards and envelopes, which are beautiful. And you can see some of the samples over here with this gold, almost a torn look edge to it. Or you can use your basic white note cards and envelopes. I realize that's sort of hard to see. Let me go a little bit. There we go. Basic white note cards or the assorted memories and more pack. So they're great for starting out. And that's the very first thing that I made, was taking one of the tags, and I'm hoping you can see this, taking one of the tags, and I layered a bunch of the different images and the word on there, and then use some of our, and I'm not going to get the names on everything because we're still learning them, but I'm going to call it the peppermint twist, which is probably wrong, thread, the baker's twine. So there's one. Here's another tag just by itself. So again, did a little bit of layering here. The tag just punches right out. These punch right out, and they're actually a good weight. They're not flimsy at all. And a little bit of our cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. And then let's go into cardstock, because many of you already have your own cardstock. So this is one here, just taking one of the word tags and gluing together. Again, I layered this a little bit and put it on with dimensionals, just on a plain real red background. Put in some of our dots that are the earth tone shimmer gems. And this guy here, I thought, well, what if we took a background and we embossed it? So this is the softly falling. Okay, I need to have, it was last
Oh,
year's. You might even have
yes.
it. It's the snowflake sky, I think it is. And there's just two dies on here. This one's glued. This one has some dimensionals behind it. So super simple cards. One more to show you with the ephemera pack. This is also got a, let me just see if I can make this a little bit better here. There, that's a little better. This one has an embossed background and again, our snowman. So there's so many different, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I've hardly started with those. So ephemera packs, if you're going out, if you're going somewhere this fall and you want to take something with you, they're really great. I'd recommend you take maybe, if not all three, the words and the images, definitely. And you might want to take some cardstock with you or those note cards, a few embellishments and your dimensionals and glue, and you're pretty much set. So here's a great page that shows you a bunch of different layouts that you can create. And there's a mix of tags and card images. And then you can see a great selection of how the Stampin' Up! Artists have used these items. Now let's go one more page here. And I think a lot of times we miss things on this left page. So this is the little bit festive 12 by 12 paper, and it's a little different. So how it comes, now I've already got some things punched out here. So let me just go on here. So they are, again, things that punch out, but they're a little bit bigger. So they're perfect for scrapbooking, but they're great for card making. So you get 2 pages like that. Let me show you the other one. Okay, so some similar things, but larger. And then you get some designer paper. So you get some designer paper that is double-sided. So really great colors for Christmas. And then you get one that has some punch outs that are fairly large. So you can use these for card fronts if you wish, or to put your photos in behind. So great for scrapbooking. So let me show you a couple samples with that and just show you how I store when those pieces fall out, because they will. I just take one of my my clear envelopes and pop them in there. And or you can take them and put them into one of our stamp cases, one of our empty stamp cases. And what I find with any of these is I like working with them when they're popped out already. So I pop a whole bunch out and then they're all over my desk. So before we go further, let me show you some samples with this little bit festive paper. So here's one of those ones that is a full, almost a full sheet. It punches out in the middle, and I just took some of the greetings, just plain on the inside. Here's one, also very similar to the one in the catalog. I wanted to show you a different orientation and taking the ribbon and doing it a little different, but you can see that laser joy, just beautiful. And this is just all glued down. And then one more where I also use that same embossing folder and just very simple, no layering here at all. I just put them on with dimensionals. So quick and easy. I probably made all of those in about an hour and a half last night. And that was cutting my paper, doing everything. So a great way to get a lot done quickly. So now I'm going to turn it over to Lillian and let me remove the spotlight for here and let me spotlight Lillian so that you can see. Well, there we go.
Hi everyone. I'm going to, whoops, there we go. I'm going to, what is happening? I've had troubles today.
You're on there okay, Lillian. We can see your
no,
catalog.
it was echoing here again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So this is the Creativity Your Way. It's kicking it off. And I just love this spread. And I like to look at all the different things and see the samples that they have used. When you turn over the page, then it's looking very elegant. So these are going to be sweets. So if you read the fine print, those of you who know me know after I've got acquainted with the catalog, I like to read the fine print. So I always take time to read that at some point and just check it out. So this is a gorgeous suite of products. And you can see little hints of what they've used here. But here are the actual things. So it's called a mega suite. Um, there are 2 bundles as well as all of these things. Now, of course, you can pick and choose whatever you want. And I did that. I got this bundle here, but I haven't got this one yet. I'm so tempted. But so I'm going to show you these. Just tuck this over to the side. So I think the star of the show is the designer paper. So the designer paper, just like Joanne was showing, gold just gives us that extra elegance. And so one side has the gold. I'm going to go through the gold sides first. And you've got some of your greens, which is really having a moment in the design world these days. Basic beige, crumb cake, cherry cobbler, mossy meadow, pretty peacock with a bit of lost lagoon. And so that's this side. And then when you flip it over, you have the same sort of look, but without the gold. So you can see it just like that. The paper is absolutely gorgeous to me. If you put a bit of this paper on a card, you wouldn't have to do much else. And with what Joanne shared, I think you could add some of that ephemera and it would be fabulous. The other bundle, the bundle that I have is called Peaceful Season. So if you need Christmas sentiments, this might be something you want to look at because there's stuff for the outside, for the inside. And I have used this set with everything else I have in the catalog. So it's that way. And this die set that comes with it is the same. So let me just show you my little get acquainted sheet. It cuts out these shapes, but of course, when they're cutting out those shapes, you also get, I've got that all clipped together, but you get the idea. You get the opening. I don't know if you can see here, but these shapes, they're only attached here and here. So you could snip these banners off and do some mix and match if you wanted there. This shape here, you can die cut your word Christmas or you can layer it. So you could take the word Christmas, which I've got hooked here, and just layer it over top. And it's really easy to just guide it in. So again, I found these 2 things very, very versatile. So you can use them not just with this suite, with anything in your stash. There's also this gorgeous ribbon. It's cherry cobbler with gold again. It's soft. It goes very flat. It's easy to work with, and so would not add too much dimension to your project. So for mailing, it's good. These are the gold adhesive backed dots, and they're actually 3 sizes, large, medium, and small. So I love that you get the variation. You can see I've used a lot of mine already. I think I need to order some more today. And then to me, this is absolutely spectacular. It's the Painted Trees 3D embossing folder. So it's large, it's 6 by 6, and it's got these 3 3D trees. So here it is in the basic white. Look at all the detail there. Isn't that amazing? And then you could brush color over it if you wanted. And there it is in metallic. So just stunning. So let me just share a couple of cards that I have made. So here I just brushed some ink over the trees there, and I just cut off the edge of the die. So there's that one. This is one that I made for a swap. So these are both the same. So I've used the trees, I've used some of the designer paper, the dies, and this ribbon's from another suite of products Marilyn's going to show with you. And then I've just brought that in and used the inside as well. So we have that. And this is one using the trees. I was at a workshop where somebody else had the trees. And so you see that in action. And then I wanted to show that you could use the dies as an opening, and I wanted to show how beautiful this Christmas is. So we've got the stamps, we've got the dies here, and a bit of the ribbon and the embellishments. So there we go with that. And so that takes you to page 26, and Marilyn's going to pop on now.
I'm here. And Joanne has spotlighted me. Thanks, Joanne. So I'm going to start with the paper as well, and my layout is a little bit different than the other ladies, but I just want to show you all the different designs that you can get in this Reindeer Days paper. Lots of reindeers, and as always, the flip side are not quite as busy. Well, that one's quite busy, but beautiful paper, as always. Also in this collection, there is an embossing folder. It's one of the larger ones. And I recently read a thing as to why is Stampin' Up doing this. I don't know the answer to that, but some people said probably helps with doing larger cards that they do in their country as well as for scrapbooking pages. So I have just done a sample of this Forever Plaid on garden green paper, just to give you the idea of how detailed it is. I love it. I can use it for lots of things. I do not have the stamp set, but I do have a sample to show you. And just further on the page, I have these, and if you were trying to order this morning already, you'll realize that they are already on back order. Well, not back order, but you know what I mean. They're not available right now, but they will be back on the 16th, so not very far. Different sizes again, and they do look like you should be able to pick them up and eat them. I think they're going to be pretty awesome. And then sample of the reindeer cutouts. These little guys are just so cute. You have 3 of them and you just build. It's kind of like a builder punch, only it's a die set. And there is your cute little reindeer. And once you have him, her, whatever, together, you can make a card like this using the plaid background, the paper, the little candy peppermints, and just the words like that. So easy to make a card there. So that's it for that. And I'm sure others are watching and replying to your comments there. So that's great. I'm going to continue on to the next page, which is the Sentimental Christmas. Again, great samples for you to copy. I have been doing this a lot with this catalog just due to time restraints for me, and I'm finding it the best way to go. Just pick one of these and you can pretty well figure it out. If not, Stampin' Up! Does have what they call recipes for the cards in their catalog, and we can find out what is used, not necessarily how to put it together, but what is used. The next page has the paper. Sec till I get all my pieces out of here. But this is the paper that Joanne mentioned is a fund. Stampin' Up! Will donate $4 to support children's literacy in the country that you are in. So I have obviously purchased the paper, and I was surprised to see a brown tone, and I don't have that in front of me as to the color, but pecan pie maybe, ribbon candy. These trees, we've all agreed that you could certainly cut out, fussy cut and use. You don't need a punch or anything. The stocking, I do believe this stocking die would cut it out. I do not have those pieces, so I haven't tried it. A larger page that can be used as a whole background for scrapbooking. More of the reds and whites, the candles, and this one as well could be used more as the scrapbooking page. So some great pieces there. The embellishments with this collection are the Drucy adhesive back embellishments. You can see how glittery they are, and Lillian was able to find for us the actual meaning of that. So if you were wondering where that word came from, like I was, it's based on how these rocks lined with a crust of projecting crystals is what they called it. So thanks, Lillian, for doing that. And the other thing I have with that is the ribbon that goes with that suite. Very soft, going to be easy to tie bows with. Great to have in your collection. So I think that is it for that. And we're on to Lillian with the Nests of Winter.
Right. The Nests of Winter are it's a gorgeous suite, and Whoops, just a second now. Uh, I, I'm having troubles with my phone today. We'll deal with it. Okay, so this is a gorgeous suite. I was able to get this at a Stampin' Up event quite a while ago, so I'm going to show you some things from it. It is definitely all season. So let me just bring in what I have here. And we're going to start with the bundle. It's called Winterly Treetops, but it doesn't have to be just for winter. It could be for any season. So it's got sending thanks, thinking of you. So they're not Christmas sentiments, but again, you could bring in your Christmas sentiments and use them with this. So we have the dies as well. So as you can see here, whoops, I brought in a little bit of extra there. The dies cut out the stamp sets, some of the stamps. They cut out some of the paper right here. I'll show you that in a minute. They make this great frame, which also works great as a mask for sponging over, so it's multi-purpose. And then you've got some standalone, and these two little ones here, if you put this on top of this, you get this. So you could use that as pussy willows. You could use it as all different kinds of things. And I'm sure we're going to see lots of uses for that. So let's just look at the paper. I've just got half sheets here. So this is one that you would see this design on the other half, upside down like that. So it's so easy to just cut in sections and make a card. So we've got that. These birds, some more there. That's very autumny looking to me. Here's the sheet where you can cut out these with your dies. This has a wonderful foresty feel to it with the birds. And then this one here. And then when you look at the reverse side, you've got your sort of generic all-purpose side. You've got your pool party and your garden green and crumb cake. And look at that. I love that one. And then your birch. I have a customer or a friend who doesn't like birds. And this was her first stamp set that she bought. So we're converting her over to the birds. Another great thing is the Birchwood's 3D embossing folder. Again, this is a big one like Marilyn showed. And so it is, I think it's 5.5 or 6 by 8.5. So you could actually do 2 or 3 pieces of paper depending on your size in here, but it creates a fabulous effect. I forgot to tell you, paper was designed so that it looks like it's been colored with blends. So you can color your own, or you can add in the designer paper itself. The embellishments are called the Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. So it's copper clay, very vanilla, crumb cake, and garden green. And of course, you can always color them whatever you want. And you might be saying, where did I find the names of them? If you go online and click on the item online, you get a far more detailed description, and that's where you can find the words. So let me just quickly share with you a few of the samples I have. So I was laughing with Joanne and Marilyn. I said I have 600 samples, not quite, but I'm only showing you a few. But well, this is just using the designer paper and then the embossing folder in the back. And then we've got this one. I made a Thanksgiving one like this earlier in the week online. Oh, here it is right here. So there we go. And so there we go. And then here's one in the blues. So again, this is just a thank you card, not necessarily. This is using that frame, and this is stamped and colored. And then this one here, the bird is stamped and colored, but look at this. They use that little sprig as Christmas lights. So just all kinds of things you can do with, and versatility. I think you could use a lot of these for masculine cards, sympathy cards, whatever. There's all kinds. Okay, we're going to go back to Marilyn now.
I'm here. Thanks, Joanne. Thanks, Lillian. Okay, next page on 32, 33, we have Snowy Wonder. I have the papers and the embellishments and a sample to show you there. And once again, samples are awesome here if you're looking for ideas. I did read that this ribbon, it's got little balls on either side, like you used to have for decorations in our houses and our cars. I did read that they are quite flat, so mailing them would be quite easy. The paper, again, star of the show, as far as I'm concerned, has little penguins and snow globes. And if you notice here, the snow globes are different sizes. So you can make have many different choices. And you have a reverse, whoops, different colors again. I don't have those right in front of me, but you, as Lillian said, you can always find the colors if you go onto the website and bring up that product. It gives you all the colors. I really like how they've added not just Christmassy color, well, red and green Christmassy colors, but they do still have some of them. So some great choices. I can see even fussy cutting those if you wanted little houses, and some candy canes. So that is the paper that goes with that. The embellishments are the white loose snowflakes. And let me try and hold them so you can see them. I saw someone else demo them, and they are different sizes and they're very tiny. If you can see there, but no, they're not adhesive and they're not sparkly. I read something today where somebody was asking if they were sparkly. They are not, but you could certainly put them on with just a dab of the white glue and they would add tremendously to your projects. As you can see, I don't know if they're on that sample card, but I see them here on this card, just placed around and on this tag. So great addition to your crafting supplies. And the one card I do have for that is this little guide. Make sure it's in the camera, showing you cutouts from the paper, our peppermint embellishments, and that's one that I got from a swap. So that's there. Then on to the next collection. I love this one. I'm a great fan of the jewel colors, as they're called. And I do have lots in this suite to share with you. So let me put the page there. And I will start with the paper. There's two different papers here. We have our regular 12 by 12s in these colors, and then we have a specialty one here, distressed patterns. And that one comes as these three with just plain white backs. So they're a little bit different, but great to have again. And then these are your colors with the backing. Many different flowery designs, some not so. I like the monochromatic myself. So lots there. You have dies and stamps. Try not to get the glare. I love this one. Wishing I were there to give you a hug. Can't think of the words. What is this called again? The where you don't need to shade them. Lillian, Joanne?
Distinctive.
Thank you. Never think of that when I have to. And they have the dies that go with them. And I don't have a magnet sheet to put those on yet, but I have learned from Lillian that this is a great way to show what you have. So I do have a sheet showing, my camera's not focusing very well on that, but the die, this is why I bought the set. I really like this die and how it cuts out the frame as well as the insert piece, your distinctive stamp, and there is a die to cut it out, and just a bit of an embellishment there. And I discovered as I was making this card that there is a slit here, and your ribbon would fit through there. So I was quite tickled with that. But you can see just having the frames around it gives it just that little bit of color. I did this on our note cards and used it for a swap. So that's the pieces there. And the ribbon is a gorgeous Blackberry Bliss with gold along the edges, a little bit stiffer than some of them, but it would certainly work well. As you can see, they've got it on here. They've got it on this card, just a cross, which I use quite often. I like doing that kind of thing with it. So another great ribbon. And the Regal foiled adhesive back dots. And they are tiny, well, tiny compared to some of them. And that's going to come flying off there. They do stick like that. So I'll try this with it. So you can see how tiny they are, but they've got a little bit of gold in them. So they really make your project sparkle with that. So that is those two pages. And then I also have the next page, which is the Splendid Autumn collection. Once again, I will show you the paper to begin with, and it's another one of our designed papers, which looks like scenery. I'm sure they've taken pictures and done them, so I'll just quickly show you those. You can see all different kinds of patterns. We can use them as home decor, put them in the frames from that one kit that we do still have available, and hang them on your wall, change them out. The again, very autumny colors in my world, and beautiful to work with. We have the stamp set and dies. And again, I love the fonts, the mixture of fonts, the sayings that they have, and some for backgrounds, the dies, and my sheet that shows you how they work. And one thing I was surprised when I did use this set, I was making cards for a swap. And I thought, okay, I'll cut one of these and I'll get two of the inserts to put my words on, because I copied this card here. And when I went to put the words on, I realized these are not the same size, which surprised me. I have not made a sample yet using this as a picture hanger or this, but you can see here that it's certainly a possibility. So hopefully you will play around with that. I have with faux glass dots, which are, again, very pretty embellishments. And like Lillian, I've used a number of those off of there already. I have the ribbon and a different kind of gain. It's got a bit of a white in the center, like a white mesh, but very soft and easy to work with. And last but not least, I have a card sample using those dots, using the tree stamp here and the wheat behind it. Just a very, I love the card, very nice fall card. And the only other thing I don't have are these woven golden leaves, but I do want to mention that I've read they are not adhesive, and they look like a fine mesh, like a window screen, I'm going to call them, for lack of a better description. But some very pretty samples have been done by others using those. So that is all for me, and we're on to Joanne. Can't hear you.
Oops, there we go. I'll unmute myself. I'm coming back because I want to ask you guys a question. So we've been doing a lot of showing so far, and we would love to know. So you've seen the quick and easy, so the ephemera packs, as well as the little bit festive paper. You've seen a bunch of the suites. Now the suites always have more than just a stamp set in them or a bundle. So they generally have one bundle, except for that mega suite that Lillian showed us. And they have paper, they have embellishments. So out of all of the ones all of everything that you've seen so far, if you had to pick just one, and I'm not going to ask you for two or three because I know there might be two or three, but if you had to pick just one, what one would it be? And you maybe already have it because you might be a demonstrator, but what one would it be? Just put it into the comments and let's see what gets the most votes out of everything that we have. So I'm going to start working the next pages of the catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and change my screen here for just a moment. So the next pages of the catalog, I'm on page 38 and 39, is where the bundles start. So bundles, everybody knows what they are. They are generally a stamp set and a die, a stamp set and a punch. It could be even sometimes a stamp set and an embossing folder. Not in this case, but that's what it could be. So I'm looking on page 39, and I'm going to show you the paper. So I did not get this particular bundle, but I want to show you how awesome this paper is. Now, this paper, I think, is going to sell out quickly. And it's just because it's so Christmassy. It's got such true Christmas colors that we always want to use. And what's great about it is that there are only there's 8 different designs because there's 4. And you can see them here, and I'll tell you the colors in just a minute. It's limited colors, and here's the background. So lots of dots and diagonals, which are fabulous for crafting with. So the colors are real red, garden green, granny apple green, and, oh, did I miss one? And basic white, I guess. Let me just check that because I have a feeling I've missed one. Let's look on the back. No, it's just 3, garden green, granny apple green, and real red. And what is really great is you get 12 sheets of each one of these. So if you have a card in mind that you want to craft with, that you want to make for the holidays, you're going to be able to get a lot of them out of one pack of paper. And they're 6 by 6. You can see they're not 12 by 12, which are really easy to work with. And I just want to show you a really quick card that I made with that paper. And you'll see another idea that I have coming up with some of the bundles. But here's a little card that you could make. Took no time at all. Now you could just have it be a plain card like this, but I turned it into an easel card and showed more of the paper on the inside and then just have a very Merry Christmas. So the stamps here, the star, the for you, and a very Merry Christmas comes from the next thing that I want to show you. But I want to show you here too. All I did was use some of our rhinestones. So I think is there anybody watching who does not have the plain basic rhinestones? That's a question I've never asked before. But that's one way you can use your scraps up. So I didn't have scraps yet, but this is one way you can use it. So there's an example for you of that paper. And now let's go on to page 40. Because not page 40, sorry, there's a couple different bundles here, and none of us, not any one of the 3 of us, have these bundles. The Christmas labels bundle, the late the year bundle. This was on my list and came off. It'll probably go back on again. There's some beautiful samples with this, and what's great is it sort of coordinates really, really well with this designer paper as well. But I want to talk to you about the decorative trees bundle. So this bundle here is made up of the stamp set. So the stamp set has a bunch of different not a bunch of different images, an open tree, and then one that looks a little bit more like a fir tree, which will fit inside this one. You can decorate it with stars and baubles. This is like a background piece here, all kinds of fun little things that you can play with. And then some really great words too. So season's greetings. I love that this is like a brush, like a cursive kind of writing. And then the greetings is very plain. That's a really common thing that we see with our greetings now, and it is great. So there's those, but what is maybe the star of this show is the dies. So the dies, I'll talk about the big ones first. The dies, there's 4 different dies here where they cut out the detail. So this one's a snowflake, sort of a plaid, dots, and then some lines and dots. And this one here is the outline to go around that tree, but inside is this cool little guy here. And then we have some small ones. So this one is like holly right here. This one is just sort of squiggles. And then you have your baubles, some bows, some garland, a star. And this one here, I think you could probably have them a little teeny weeny presents, but they're actually the bases of the tree. So that's what that is. And then this is like a bow. Let's find it here. This is the bow right here. So lots of fun things. Now let's see some samples of that. Put that off to the side. So when I started playing with these, I started with watercolor. And I have a video that'll be coming out next week on how to create a watercolor so that you can create the detail. So this one here is just a simple card. And then there's the stamping on the inside of that tree. May your days be merry. And just, I love the colors in here. This is very vanilla. And then another one that's watercolored. So I love this particular die. This die has snowflakes in it. And the background again is a watercolor background, but I show how to make this card here. And I think those are all the ones, including the one with the take a bow paper. So I would not miss this particular stamp set and dies. The dies are fabulous, but they work well together. And you'll notice here that Stampin' Up, the artists here have actually created little decorative, let me come in a little closer, if you don't have your catalog, and they've made little ornaments that you can use. This one here just has some gold foil on it. So all kinds of fun things that you can do with this set. And this will get you through a bunch of different Christmases. And of course, you know that all of our bundles are 10% off. So when you purchase them, you get the benefit of that. So the next one I want to talk about is this Christmas Friends bundle. So there were a couple things that I had to get first. One was the birds that Lillian talked about. And then the Christmas Friends was another one. So I don't know who's my favorite in here. Tell us who your favorite is. Is it the polar bear? And I'll show you in a bigger picture, the moose, the mouse, or the owl. Here's the stamp set here. So there they are in bigger images, the size. Which one is your favorite? And I love that they have different sort of greetings here. So you can see that they're not all the same type of font. Have a very Merry Christmas goes with this guy. I will be thinking of you this season, the owl, obviously, and happy holidays to go with anybody. And this cute little tree, does this remind you of the Charlie Brown Christmas tree? I can just see all the little needles falling off of this. So there's that. Here are the dies, Christmas Friends dies. There's a die to cut out all of the images, as well as some garland, stars, a little musical notes, a bow, presents, bows. There's great things in here. Let me show you a couple samples. So this one here, a really simple one. This is the little mouse. He's colored with watercolor pencils and just dried. You can barely see the tree in here, but the tree is in the background. Simple, easy to do. And you could stamp each one of these and then just color them in front of the TV. Here is a Christmas tag. So here's our owl, very cute owl. I'll be thinking of you. And here are the painted trees down here just to decorate. In case you're wondering where this tag is, this is a stamp die that's been around for a while, and it's called Designer Tags, and it's online only. It's been there for a while. And then here's this guy here. This is the polar bear. So there's a nice big circle. I didn't mention that in the dies, but there's a great big circle. Let me measure. I don't even know how big it is. It is 3 inches. So it's a great size. And you could create, I think Marilyn talking about the snow globe, that would make a great snow globe too. But there's the presents. You can see them, the stars, that's done with our glimmer paper, which are still in the online exclusives. What have I got on the inside here? Just another present. So what I did is I just took a piece of that take a bow paper or take a bow paper, depending how you want it, so that it would come through the circle. Okay, on to the next one. So the next one is on page 44, Hang an Ornament Bundle. And I hummed and hawed about this one. I don't know why I hummed and hawed, but this is the hang an ornament. I guess maybe I thought, I don't know if I need it. And that need word gets in the way all the time, doesn't it? But there are 2 ornaments here. There's some ways to decorate it. And this little pull, I'll show you why you might want to use this. And it is pretty self-explanatory in the catalog, but I'll just show it to you. And then two sets of words that go across the ornament. Here are the dies that go along with it. And the dies are, there's actually fewer than you might think, but this guy here is interesting because it cuts it out and it cuts it out really well. But when it cuts it out, I want to bring one in, it will cut it out and leave a tiny, tiny little bit. And when it leaves that tiny little bit attached, that allows you to put your pull on here, and then somebody can just take this off. And if you had this decorated, they could either use that as a tag or hang it on their tree like they're showing right here. There's a bunch of different things. So I want to show you some samples with this one as well. First was a tag that I made. So I'm using some of that glimmer paper also from the online exclusives. It has cherry cobbler, old olive, and white in it. And here I've just embossed, used some more of our Take a Bow paper. This is the Greetings for All Seasons. I think that's the name of it, die. And this is a tag. And then I just colored some of our basic beige ribbon. Here's one showing off the Take a Bow paper again. And I'm glad that they're coming back in really quickly so that you can get some of these. Now it's a little hard to see here, but I did white emboss the bauble, but it's a little hard to see that shine here. And it's got some of the glimmer paper and then just a little decorative piece on the inside. And then, oh no, not quite the last one. So here's some of that gorgeous paper. I'm using Pretty Peacock this time, embossed with gold, have some gold underneath. And then opening up, you can see just the stamp and just for you that I also embossed. So this one can be elegant like this, or it can be fun and whimsical like this. So what's one great thing about this bundle is that it's really, really versatile in terms of what you're going to get. I have one more sample to show you, and it is this little guy here. Now, I wanted to show you this one because I'm using non-Christmas paper. This is the Nature's Sweetness paper, which is available in the online exclusives, because I wanted to do something that was pebbled path and a little different piece. So this one is one that somebody could take off because I've left it attached. And I'm not going to take this one off, because underneath is stamped just in, you won't be able to see it, but I've attached mine with foam adhesive strips, and there's an old olive stamped exactly the same bauble underneath. And inside, just a little decorative edge with this stamp right here. Okay, those are those bundles. Let's move on to Lillian's got some other ones that she wants to share with us. So let me just spotlight her for you.
Right, I just wanted to share one more sample that from Joanne, the one Joanne just shared. This was from a class that I went to, but again, another use of that bundle. I'm blanking out right now, just to show you that. So we're going to now look at page 45. It's called The One of a Kind, and I looked at this and I looked at the other snow wintry icicle one, and I thought, which one do I want? Do I need either of them? And I got this one, and of course the other one I likely will. This is a neat bundle. Let me just show it to you. For those of you using your catalog, it's on page 45. So it has the stamp set. It has different sizes of snowflakes, the to and from, which is always nice to have if you're creating tags and that kind of thing. There's some thank yous. There's not necessarily Christmas, but it could be Christmas. This one talks about merriest season ever, but there's flurry of happy wishes. That could be birthday, one of a kind. And then there is a die set, a very simple little die set like this. So when you have it, you've got the outline, which you can cut out this here. You've got this fine little piece here, which if you cut it out, you can layer it on top like that, which is really great. Or if you're like me and you have this set from the annual catalog. Guess what? Drum roll, please. Look at it, will cut out the big snowflakes here. So this is a bundle that's really cost effective, but has tons of potential. So let me just share a couple of samples from that. I have here this one here. I just received in a swap, so it's bringing in what you might already have in your stash, the softly falling snowflakes, a bit of the ribbon, and then like that. So you've got your background stamps. This one here, snowflakes don't have to be blue, right? We've got artistic license. You can make them purples or whatever. And this is in the pinks, and then it opens like this. So I received those two in a swap. And then I played with this one here and brought in some of the metallics. And this ribbon here, it's from the annual catalog, but it's just white and silver, and I colored it with my blends to just add some more color to this. So that is the sparkling snowflakes. Whoops, one more. And then there's the little tag. So in the catalog, you can see tags quite often, even in that page where it's giving you ideas. So I stamped and cut one, then I cut one out of blank paper and put the to and from, added some baker's twine, and you could add embellishments. You could step it up with adding another color on top. But there you go. You've got cards, you've got tags, you've got whatever. Now, if you flip over the page, you will see here what was actually on the front cover of the catalog. So it's sort of the star, I think. There is tons you can do with this Humble Home bundle. It's a punch and stamp, can't even talk all of a sudden, punch and stamp bundle. So here it is here. I'm just going to flip this over because it reflects so much. So when you punch out the little home, you also can get a window. It fits around these little window shapes here, and you get a heart. So there are all kinds of things you can do with that. I'm just going to bring something in here. So here we go. I've got quite a little collection here. I started off with the tags. So I just did, just like I did with the snowflake, a white one, and this is, so I put a long loop on it so that it could flip over a gift bag, and it would go like that. So we've got that. We've got this one here. So again, tags. So if you noticed, like Joanne pointed out at the beginning, this here, there are tags here as well as cards. And tags can go on cards. So I made a tag and then popped it on a card. And see this here? I forgot to show it when I was showing you the Nests of Winter, but it's a package of twine that I am finding I use on everything. Technically, it's copper clay, Night of Navy, garden green, but they seem to go with everything. And that's what I tucked back in here. And then there's this one that I just punched out the houses and alternated the hearts. Again, it was a tag that went on, and it's not Christmassy. It's a welcome home kind of thing. And then I had to play with this. And I love Pebble Path. So those of you who know me know that I tend to enjoy Pebble Path and Basic White quite often. So I just did the little home for the O, brought in the a la carte alphabet, cut them out on foam strips. And so we have that there, and the embossing folder that Marilyn showed is right there. So that's it. And then I had to show you something. Remember the Happy Houseplants kit that comes with all the white frames? And so this one would have been like that. I just love this kit so much. I think I have to buy a second one just for the frames alone, and these could be cards as well. So I thought it'd be fun to have a little home decor. So I took, I'm blanking out, the heart from, it's in the annual catalog. It has the bright colored paper anyway. And then this is the Country Woods paper. I just punched out the little house. So this came together really, really fast. Added a little embellishment and bow. And then I have a home decor piece. My goal is to make one for each season. So we'll see how I do with accomplishing that goal. And then, of course, you can always make a little 3D item to have at the dinner table or to give to coworkers or whatever. And so I just made a little one like that. And I'll have a video coming out on how to do that. But it will hold a chocolate or just a little something else that you might want. So, well, I went and closed my book. That was not smart. This is really cute too, but we're going to flip right over to this page here, the More Than Autumn bundle. So here's a little thing that you can do. Take all of the words in this bundle and mix and match them, and how many different sayings can you come up with? I think that would be really fun to do, but I have a couple of quick samples. So your pumpkin spice people, your coffee people, your hot cocoa people, all kinds of things are found here. And remember, read the fine print about doing a background. Anyway, here's just a quick and simple coffee and donut card. Love you more, Ben. And then this is one that I received in a swap. So this is embossed. I don't know if you can see. So it's shiny. It really looks like whipped cream and just all kinds of fun things. But this opens, just part of it opens up and the other part stays down, and it's a gift card holder. And then the little candy canes are here. So that's another way of using your stamps, is to make a little decorative edge like that. All right. And then this this one here, oh my voice, is one that I was looking at, and I chose the other snowflake one, but I have seen all kinds of great things made with this. And I've also seen this used as monster teeth. So there is another idea. So now take a look at page 51. We have 4 different styles of cards here. So take a look, and which style is speaking to you right now? You're seeing different things that we've talked about. Which style speaks to you with these ones here? The one that spoke to me first was this one here, so the Christmas chick. But you might have Christmas classic speaking to you, or maybe the Wonderland Wishes or the Glam Tidings, where it's all glammed up. So this one spoke to me so much, I had to case it. So that means I had to copy it, but I didn't have all the supplies, so I substituted. I used the backside of that gorgeous Peaceful Seasons designer paper that has the gold on the other side, but I embossed it. So embossing designer paper gives you a really neat look. I used some trees that I had on hand to create this. And then this, and like I said, the Peaceful Season stamps goes with everything, and that twine that I was talking about earlier. So I recreated that. It's just fun to do. So we're going to go over now to Marilyn. And Marilyn, just before you start, maybe you could tell us which one of these speaks to you. You can let us know. Okay, Marilyn, it's yours.
Okay, thank you. I like them all, of course, but I think the Wonderland Wishes would be my first one that I would go to. But it's great to see so many different ideas in there that they give us to use. Thanks, Lillian and Joanne. Okay, I'm on to the next few pages. I don't have the stamp sets, but we'll just quickly look at them and realize most of the time that they don't have to be Christmas. Even if, like on this one, you certainly don't have to match that to the words. I could give this one to a little grandson learning how to skate, would be a great thing. So lots of different choices there. It's just share the cheer. You can see our circle dies, which that's not what they're called anymore, but they are back in stock as well if you're looking for those. These I have seen as gift tags. And again, this one could be used, doesn't have to be Christmas. These are being shown as Christmas ones, but just keep that in mind. And I do have this paper, and it's not cut, so it's going to be big and shiny and bright, but it is gorgeous. Again, a glimmer paper that we can use for small cutouts, for larger pieces, and it is white on the back side. And then we're on to sun or snow. Same idea. You don't have to use them for Christmas. Sending warm hugs and happiness could be anytime. The snowman to me, of course, would be more of a Christmassy one, but then we get into surfing Santa. And you might realize that a lot of these different sayings like this are done because of Australia and New Zealand being in a different season than we are. So they're trying to accommodate all of them. The shepherd's care and falling snow embossing folder is quite often missed. And I don't know, I don't have it, but you can see that it has snowflakes and it's just one, actually it's a stamp. It's not an embossing folder. That's probably why I don't have it. I have the embossing folder. Yuletide Village, I've seen this colored with various, whether the crayons or the markers, and it's great. The Peace on Earth has some beautiful sayings in there, and I do have a sample of that one. This is $1 million set. If you haven't noticed, that's what this indicates. And it does tell you at the bottom, million sales achiever Cindy Fodder. And this is a card that I received in a swap made with that set. So she has fussy cut this stamp and added the words on a tag kind of piece there and just one little embellishment on there. So then we go on to make your home bright. My table's not quite big enough here. Again, more ideas for your home, whether you want to stand those on a mantle, whatever. Gather your friends speaks to me about Thanksgiving. As Lillian had mentioned earlier, look at things you can make. I like this layout with the countryside corners guys cutting frame to put on there. More leaves that can be on top of each other. If you want a double two-step stamping, some fun, happy fall kind of ideas there. Love and friendship. I love these little guys, embraced with love. And all the different ways to color them, how to use them. Again, these with the, just bring that up so you can see it a little bit better. These are colored, and that indicates that there are punches that will punch them out. And they're saying the 2 3/8 circle punch works well for that. So you can see many different occasions, again, not just for Christmas. And whoops, crash. That didn't work well. Love and strength. We all need love and strength and encouragement. Another beautiful set. And we're getting to the back of the catalog. Earn rewards while you shop is a new feature coming out. But right now we can earn rewards for certain dollars. This will change in the spring. And that brings us to the index, which, as Joanne had mentioned, we were all going to talk about. I'll go ahead with that.
Yep.
Okay. I was just going to say, I see some hand on my screen, but I don't know where that comes from.
You raised your hand.
I did?
Yeah.
That's probably when I hit the camera.
Look at you.
It is. What I want to point out about the index, what I used it for was the designer paper. There's all kinds of info in here, of course, but when I was purchasing designer paper, I went through to make sure that I found them all because, as you know, they are no longer on one page for you to pick from. And that's how I made sure I got that festive glimmer paper, as it was here. In talking to Lillian and Joanne said, I didn't see that. I have to make another order now. So,
And that's true. I had glimmer paper on my order this morning.
Oh, okay. So that's it.
I'm just going to,
Go
so
ahead.
on that same, I'm just going to spotlight mine for just a moment here, but on that same thought, so people use the index in different ways. So I use the index, I tend to look at the things that I like the most. So the things that I like the most are actually stamps and embossing folders. So if I want to go quickly to where these are, I can look back here underneath the title. Now I do find this page a little easier to find things on than in our annual catalog. And let us know if you also are using the index, because if not, it is a great way to skip to the page, because sometimes we know we've seen something. Like for instance, I think Denise, you were asking about the earth tones linen thread. And this is a great place to find it here. So it would be underneath the ribbon, I'm thinking, is
It
it?
is, yep, it's right there.
Natural tones linen thread. So you got the call number here, so you don't have to go to the page if you don't want to, and the page that it's on. So then you can quickly skip to page 31 and you can find it here. So Lillian showed some great things with that linen thread. So that's how I use it. And Lillian, I think that you also wanted to share how you use it.
Sure, and it's very similar. I just find that the index is for me, a big key, a big tool for using the catalog.
Right,
and I will go to the index and with the idea of what did I miss? So what did I miss with embellishments? Or what did I miss with embossing folders? And often especially embossing folders, I miss them when I go through the catalog. And I go, I didn't see 3 embossing folders. What is that Forever Plaid? And went back and found that I had totally missed it. So that's one way I use it. I actually have a copy of the index on my desk most of the time. What about you, Marilyn?
Yeah, like I say, for the embossing folders was another one that I did, same as the paper. I went through and made sure that I got them all. And because sometimes they're hard to see the way they have them displayed. So,
okay, so we're almost done. I should probably, let me just change my camera here. We are almost done. We really just wanted to give you a taste of this catalog. We went just a tiny bit over, which was fabulous for us. But we wanted to show you some samples, maybe point out some things that you haven't noticed, because we tend to gravitate and see the same things all the time. One trick that I usually try and do is the very first time I'm looking at the catalog from the beginning. But the next time I look at it in reverse. So I go from the back pages, because sometimes we just get a little bit overwhelmed and we get worn out with seeing all that new stuff. So if you start at the back, you'll probably notice things a little bit differently than you did before. So give that a try. But there is one more page. Let me bring you here. One more page that we would like to ask you about. And that page is on stocking stuffers. So so at the back, there are some stocking stuffers. So if you want to give somebody some hints and some ideas, a special someone in your life, your kids, your spouse, maybe your parents, somebody who would just love to get you some little gifts. These are some samples or some ideas here. Stampin' Up has come up with some, but you don't have to. We're going to share with you what each of us might like to have in our stocking, just one item, but that's our next question for you. And then I'm also going to share the results of the questions we asked earlier, but after we do this. So if I were to ask somebody for some stocking stuffers, I think probably what I would ask for are some small blending brushes. Because I have a lot of the large ones, but I don't have very many small ones. And I do find that they are a little bit better for getting into the crevices a little bit better when you are doing some shading. So that's what would be on my list. Marilyn, what would be on your list?
I would pick Embraced with Love stamp set on page 60. That's the one with the cute little animals. I just think that is so cute, and I don't have one like that in my stock already.
Perfect. And Lillian, how about you?
I would definitely want these natural tones linen thread in mine. When I first got them, I thought, will I use them? And I'm actually maybe going to have to order another set. I've used them so much. So they're great.
I agree. They are fabulous colors, and they're not just for Christmas. So
exactly.
Right.
Perfect. So there's just one more page that really is just the back. So let me, again, spotlight myself here. Sorry, we're going back and forth, but don't forget about the back of the catalog. So the back of the catalog has a great big, huge, you can't miss it, scan code. and you can go and see the online exclusives. So I showed a few different online exclusive ideas. There's Christmas in there, there's Halloween in there, because that's been one of the comments about this catalog is that where's the Halloween? We've always had it. So if you're a fan, now I realize lots of people are not a fan of Halloween, but if you are, you want to go online. And as well, just launched today was a scrapbooking brochure, and it's online, and there's some words in there. But for example, here's one of the stamp sets that's available online called Playful Ghosts. And it's a cute little stamp set, and it probably isn't getting the exposure it deserves because it's only online. It's not in the catalog. So you always want to head over online. That's where there's additional items like the kits are on there, the online exclusives, things like that, designer tags. Our deckled circles are there. There's a bunch of things that if you don't know where they are, check online, and this code will take you there. Okay, so I want to share. I'm going to remove the spotlight and I'll bring myself back. I think I'm going to remove the spotlight. Okay. And I want to share with you. So we asked you earlier, what your favorite, if you had to pick just one thing, what would be the, not the bundle, the collection, the suite that you would go for. And you know what? I'm a little surprised. So there's 4. So we had votes for Autumn, which is the Regal Floral, Season of Elegance, Nests of Winter, and Reindeer Fun. And we had a tie for Autumn, which is the Regal Floral, and the Nests of Winter. So those 2 are at the top of your lists for the bundles that you want to get. I'm surprised that Season of Elegance was in there, but it was not top. And with that paper, but maybe just the paper by itself, right? And then we also asked you when I was showing the Christmas friends, the little critters, I asked which of those critters was your favorite. And I have to say my favorite, I didn't tell you what my favorite was, is the polar bear. And Marilyn, what's yours?
Mine would be the mouse.
The mouse. Okay, Lillian?
Mine was the moose.
The moose. Okay, so we have a cross section, but I'm very sad because our polar bear only got 1 vote, and it was even a second vote. It wasn't, they said, oh yeah, the polar bear is good too. So the winner's there. The winner is the moose. So the moose is everybody's favorite, followed very closely by the owl. So then it was the mouse, then coming in a very sad was the bear. So he had my vote. But anyway, we wanted to say thank you for joining us. And we all have different events coming up. We either have classes, or you can find Facebook Live. You can find us on YouTube, blog posts, newsletters. There's all kinds of things that we'll be having over the fall. I want to mention just one with you for something that I have coming up, and then Marilyn and Lillian and would love to share what they're doing as well. So I'm going to, I want to go here. I want to remove the spotlight. No, I want that spotlight. Is an event that we have coming up. And this is, there are 6 of us across the world, Australia, New Zealand, the US, and Canada. And we have a Christmas crafting experience. And it is 3 hours long, but you get way more than only 3 hours. 3 hours is going to be interactive. You're going to be playing, you're going to be gaming, but there are pre-recorded as well as PDFs, lots of videos that we're sharing. And it is on September 13th in Mountain Time, 6 to 9, but you can, it's lifetime. So you can watch it whenever is good for you. So don't worry if you're not available that night. And also it's not on Facebook. It is going to be through Zoom. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that. And Lillian and Marilyn, did you have some things that you wanted to share as well?
Well, one of the things I have offered right now currently is the Nests of Winter class to go. So that is all that fun stuff. So in the class, you get a quarter package of the paper, you get 2 yards each of the thread, you get the embellishments, and you get everything you need to make the projects, but you do have to have the bundle. And you're going to want the bundle anyway. So that's just something, so you can reach out to me if you're interested in that. And I am sure there's a humble home one coming soon too. Marilyn?
Nothing like that scheduled for me. I have my regular monthly Christmas card class, my monthly card club, and I want to thank everyone who did join my Golden Greenery Club. I had fun putting that together for you. But there will be other things in the future, just nothing really organized yet.
Okay, so we want to wish you well. We want you to take another closer look at that holiday catalog. And if you have any questions, certainly put the comment in. You can share this as well. We didn't tell you that at the beginning, but please go ahead and share the video. We're glad that you stuck around to the end, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.